That's 8 tough acts to follow, that's for sure. And one superstar about to come up. So it's been 36 years, double high, that my long connection to Chabad has been so far. And it's an incredible connection. Many of you know me as the owner of the only authentic diner deli here in San Antonio. We're not going to talk about matzo balls or French toast or pastrami today. Tonight I'm going to talk about a very powerful security system, the Mezuzah, this Jewish security system. My Jewish journey has been defined by the literal and figurative doorposts and the mezuzot that they hung on. One doorpost that defined my identity as a young child was at my grandpa, or my Zaidi, Louie's butcher store in Brooklyn. My father and my Zaidi, they used to put me on a butcher block table in the store, and they would put a big hunk of beef fat on the table, and they would give me a scraper. And I would pretend that I had a knife and that I was being a butcher just like them and chop that, that fat up, and it was like the greatest thing. And that was just a really long-term, unbelievable, one of the many memories that I had, of my Zaidi. Unfortunately, he passed away about 6 months before my bar mitzvah in 1977, a long time ago. Another doorpost as a young adult that defined my identity was working with my father, who is now we were Glick kosher caterers in New York. And I would work with families every day, building the greatest events of their lives, whether it was a bris or a bar bat mitzvah, and of course their weddings. I was always involved in these incredible, mitzvahs that these people had. Well, actually, that's how I met my wife, Wendy. While planning her older sister's wedding, she came home from college. I think it was February or something, and her sister was getting married in June, and she came to pick out the menu for her sister's wedding, and I picked her out. I actually asked her father, would it be okay if I asked your daughter on a date? And he actually said, go for it. And for some reason, she actually said yes as well. And we went on a date, actually 3 days before her sister's wedding, which was a little risky. But 31 years later and counting, where our Jewish life together is better than it's ever been. Our blessings continued with the birth of our twin children, Ariel and Jason. Ariel has a master's degree in speech pathology and works in New York City. Jason's a dentist. He married Rami almost 3 years ago. She's a pediatric resident. Wendy and I have done pretty, as proud as you can be. And recently, we were in Memphis putting up mezuzahs on the doorposts of our son and daughter-in-law's new home. And that was one of the most incredible days and blessings of our life. So the rule of mezuzah is said to be equal in importance to all the mitzvahs together. A mezuzah is a handwritten parchment scroll with the Shema written on it, the prayer that we say in the morning, in the afternoon, and before we go to bed at night. A mezuzah mounted on the right side of the doorpost designates a home as a Jewish home, reminding us of God and our heritage. It is a symbol that God is watching over our home. Placing a kosher mezuzah on the doors of our home protects the inhabitants, whether they're inside or they're outside. So back in 5761, which was 2001, a rabbi asked me, do you want to do it your way, or do you want to do it the right way? That rabbi was Levi Teldon's father, Rabbi Tuvia Teldon, who asked me that question about installing a mezuzah on our new home on Long Island. At that time, Wendy and we had our 6-year-old twins, and we had just bought our first new home. We met Rabbi Tuvia Teldin and one of Levi's older brothers, Zalmi, at a Jewish arts festival at the JCC in the town that we had just bought our home. I put on tefillin, of course, and then said, Rabbi, we need a mezuzah for the front door of our new home. The rabbi said, do you want to do it your way, or do we want to do it the right way? Now, I was really not sure what he meant by that at the time, but of course I said the right way. Well, front door, back door, side door, garage doors, dining room, living room, bedrooms, and anything that had an arch in the house other than the bathrooms got a mezuzah. I think there were 24 mezuzahs that we put up that day. I think he said if I got the 25th, there was a discount, but we only got 24 that day. It was comforting to believe that because these kosher mezuzahs were installed throughout our entire home, that God will protect our family members. Now, a mechanical security system is designed to guard the home from thieves. I like to think that my special home security system, the mezuzah, brings divine protection from other intruders, such as illness and disaster and emotional pain, and brings spiritual blessings to our home. Now, we were here last night rehearsing. As you can tell, I'm very well rehearsed. And a friend told me a story about it's probably 5 or 6 years ago that his home, they woke up in the middle of the night to their home ablaze. Now they have 3 kids. One of them was actually still in a crib. And he went and woke up his wife and said, the house is on fire. And they went and grabbed the kids and they went to go to the front door to run out, and the door was bolted and they couldn't find the key. By the way, you should always not have a key, you should have a deadbolt, but that's a different story. So they went to they couldn't find the key, and there was fire by the front door, so they went to the side door and escaped out of the house, and everybody, was okay. Well, when the fire was gone and they went back, that door was one of the only frames that was still standing, and the mezuzah was perfectly in its spot. With Hanukkah a few weeks away, the mitzvah of Hanukkah lights is similar in 2 respects to the mezuzah. Both have to be placed on the side of the door of the house, but there are also 2 significant differences between the 2. The mezuzah must be fixed on the right side of the door as you enter, and the Hanukkah lights on the left side of the house. The mezuzah points inward, and the Hanukkah lights point outward, or shine outward. So here we are in the year 5781, the year 2021. And a rabbi recently asked me, do you want to do it the right way? Do you want to do it your way, or do you want to do it the right way? Once again, I said I want to do it the right way. Well, that rabbi was Levi Teldin. This past July, when we moved into our new home here in San Antonio. Yes, the Glicks follow the Teldins wherever they go. This time it was only 12 mezuzahs, but Wendy and I feel more secure in this home than ever before. So I'd like to thank you all for coming this evening and listening to all of us speak. You are in for a real treat with the last speaker coming up in just a few moments. But there's one last thing. Wendy and I have created sort of a challenge with, I don't know where he went, with Rabbi Teldin. A mezuzah challenge. We are starting off the challenge by donating 36 mezuzah scrolls. I want everyone to contact Rabbi Teldin. He'll answer your call. We answered his, he'll answer yours. And have him come out and check your mezuzahs. And if you have a friend who lives in nearby, tell him that he should go there as well. The little thing that you put up on the wall, that's not the mezuzah. It's the parchment scroll that's inside. And they get old and they get cracked, or they came with a copy paper that says it in there, but it's really not the real kosher thing. So we could all use, especially right now, a little added Jewish security in our homes. Thank you again, and I wish everybody a happy Hanukkah.